Howdy everybody in YouTube land. What we have on the bench tonight is we have a Boss Audio Systems AR2000M MOSFET monoblock power amplifier. This is probably a piece of crap, but anyways, I have not seen one of these. I've not worked on one of these. This seems to be a bit newer than what I'm typically used to seeing. It looks like taking this apart is going to be a royal pain in the ass because the metal plate goes under the gray bezel, and that is hidden behind these this black plate, which is fun. So I'm going to need to get all of my tools out and take this apart using my toolbox. So I'll probably record this segment, but then maybe speed it up so you can see me take it apart. Because sometimes taking things apart can be more oddly satisfying than figuring out the repair itself. So that. All right, let's see. What are these? Those appear to be Allen key. All right. At least we know what we have to deal with in that department. So let me grab my tools right quick. All right. Got my little Titan toolkit here. So let's figure out what we have to work with. Let's see. This is going to be a metric number 3, I bet you. Nope, it's not a number 3. Maybe it's a number 2.5. Yep, it is. It's a 2.5. So, yeah, it's just this toolkit here. I love this thing. It's got every bit, security bit, standard metric known to man. Titan. You can get them on Amazon. Not cheap, but you can get them, and they're worth every penny. And they're hardened so they don't strip. Alright, so now we're going to take the edge off. No, I don't mean it like that. Oop. Actually, I need to move this meter out of my way. Okay, that plate's been removed. Move you off to the side. Yeah, see, yeah. Anyways, why they gotta design amplifiers like this, I'll never know. But that's what they did. So, in case you're wondering, it is a number 2.5 hex Allen key bit. This one has a lot more screws on it. I don't like this screw gun so much because it's kind of bulky. I think that's it. Yep, out. Alright, so now, in theory, I should be able to take this amplifier all the way apart without stripping it. That would be nice. Now the other thing I want to do is I want to check to see if there's any differences between the two sides. No, there's not, so I can mix them up. It's not going to hurt anything. Now I can actually remove the bottom screws. And if I got to order parts with it for this, which I most certainly will likely have to, I am not putting all of these screws back in either, because that would be suicide. Otherwise, I'd have to tear it all back apart again, you know? Alright, what do we have? No unidentified black marks on the bottom. Okay. Oh, dang, this thing is dip. It's all, well, single inline and dual inline packages. That's kind of neat. When was this made? I'm pretty good at identifying when things were made. So, let's see. 2008. It looks like. Yep, 2008. KA4558. Why would you use a single inline package in 2008? I'll never understand the choices of manufacturers. Alright, so let's get that in frame so we can see it. We are going to take a look and figure out what we're dealing with here. So, I want to do a quick visual inspection just to see what we're dealing with. I don't see any black marks or anything of concern. So the next thing I want to do is check and see if there's any shorts here. There is not. That one's fine. That one's fine. Check this side. This isn't a perfect spot, I'll tell you that right now. Let's put it in frame here. This is in the most absolute perfect spot ever because it makes it super easy to get to the transistors for testing. Anyways, come on. Good. These are in parallel. Yeah, we're fine. Alright, let's check the output stage. This is a Class AB amplifier, and the way you can tell is you do not have the output filters, but you have source or emitter resistors. That one's good. So the fault with this one, oh, hold on. No, it must have been my probes looking. Good, good. So it's entirely possible that this amp is not blown. Do I actually have one out of the bunch that is not blown? That would be a miracle and a half. So there should be. The next thing you want to check on these, and I'll get to that in a second. First off, I want to check the output stages. That one's not blown. Not blown. Not blown. Alright, so output stages are good too, at least as far as any catastrophic failures. The other thing you want to check on these is immediately we got two resistors here, and then we got a Zener diode here, which you can just see in the frame, and we got another one over here, and that is your plus minus 12 to 15 volt rails that powers these op amps. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to check this one for shorts. No shorts, that's a good thing. And I'm going to check this one for shorts. Also a good thing. So we have no shorts on this amplifier. Now the third thing I want to check is I want to check these RCA jacks, because sometimes the solder joints can break on these. So we will discover to see if that is the case or not. Nope, not as far as I can tell. See if I can do this in frame. Nope. Okay. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. So that rules out any catastrophic failure with this amplifier. So now that we've ruled out catastrophic failures, the next thing we must do, as soon as I clear all the mess that I made, is we must test for, functionality as far as if there's any problems with the power supply starting everything up or not. And actually, you know what? I need these covers because how else am I going to know what everything is? So on this side we have level, bass boost. Let's check the level. Is it turned all the way up? No, but it's close. Bass boost was all the way up, so turn that down. Low pass filter, we'll turn that all the way up. We'll turn the level just a tenth of the way. Then we're going to take, let's see, ground here, power here. Alright, now the next thing we need is a remote lead. And how we're going to do that is we are going to go from, trying to find a good point. I don't think there is one, so I'm going to have to hook up at the actual power supply itself. And then we're going to take the remote and I'm just going to tap the remote and watch the LEDs. I have a green LED, which you can't see on camera. You kind of can if I hold my finger there. We have a green LED, and we also have no protection light. Alright. Not seeing anything out of the ordinary. I'm going to flex the board a little bit. Transformer's noisy, but that's not surprising. And the green light's still there, it's still lit, it's slowly fading away, but as soon as I power it up, it'll light up. There it goes. Power supply is running. It's all good. As far as I can tell. Let's feel this. Is it getting warm? No, no. This is a mono block, so that tells me that this is probably the push. Another one's the pull side. That's why, because there's two drivers here, which is behind the caps. You can't see them, but there's two drivers here, not four. So that means one's the NPN side, the other's the PNP side, or something like that. So that is likely how this amplifier is put together. Now, what I have to do now is I have to go get my cables. Let's see, where's my speaker connections? Let's see if I can get my speaker connections in here. There we go. Speaker connections. And we're going to hook up the speakers and see if this thing produces any sound at all. I did not ask the original owner, which actually, it's my former boss. It doesn't, none of these are customers that I know of. I mean, this is, I don't do this for customers. I do this for other car audio shops. It was a hobby more than a profession anymore. It used to be a profession, but not anymore. Okay, so there's that. There's no sound. I don't hear any hum at all out of the speaker. No, I do not. So, let's verify. It could be anything. It could be even these little things here are the speaker circuit path. So, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to connect this to the remote. So now the remote's enabled. That power. We don't have any protection light, but what I do want to do is I want to verify the voltages. And that's not easy to do from chassis ground because not all of it is connected to chassis ground, but let's see, let's check that one. Yeah, it's not connected to chassis ground, but one of these is. $15 volts. Nope, it is not connected to chassis ground, but it might be connected to RCA ground. Let's see. It is. So that's 15 volts, which is correct. Let's check this one. Negative 15 volts, that's correct. Let's check rail voltages. 35 volts. Negative 35 volts. So, my rail voltages are present. My preamp voltages are present. So we clearly do not have a power supply fault, which I didn't figure. Let's see, that's getting warm. That's kind of staying cold. That's getting warm. So I got one chip. That one's getting hot. As you can't see it in frame, but let me move this again downward so we can get it in the frame. So this one, that resistor's hot, which makes sense because there's current being dropped to it. So this, that's warm. That's kind of warm. And that test is not always definitive, but it's typically what I do in a troubleshooting procedure. So all of that is good. I suppose what you do now, let me look back at this again. Turn the level. Okay, so low pass filter is up. Bass boost is down, level is down. So let's turn the level up. Now, alright, so I'm going to go get my cable and we're going to plug in my phone over here so we can get a signal into this thing and we'll see what happens. So I'll be right back. Alright. Get RCA's plugged in. Still have no audio. So, let's go on my phone. Nope, wrong button. Phone. Plug this in. Let's see. Online, no. I want to be a tone generator. Come on, Google. Online tone generator. See if it works on Google. Okay, so play. Alright, so I got this online tone generator thing, so I have no sound at all. Alright, let's change the frequency to 200 hertz, which is under the 250 hertz crossover point. So, yeah, no, I got no sound. See, do I get sound on the phone? Yeah, I do. You can hear it. Alright, so that does work. Alright, so I got my phone turned all the way up. We're going to let that run for a minute. But I have absolutely no audio. So, the next thing we got to do, this is a good one because now we actually have to do some troubleshooting, not just see a bunch of blown parts and replace it like my typical other videos. This one is a little bit of a troubleshooting fun. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this. Let's get that out of the way so we can see the screen on the meter. It's in frame. Okay, good. I got it on AC volts mode, and what we're going to do is we're going to use the RCA jack back here as the reference point, and we're going to start checking some things. So let's check the back of the RCA cable. 0.1 volts. Let's check at the speaker jack. Kind of got something, but not really. It's just dead. Alright, so let's chase the op amps. These 4558s, one of these, let's check that one, 0.4, that one, 0.4. I'm not really getting a whole lot. So we've got no activity from the op amps. Actually, tell you what I want to do. I want to bend these over. I want to check them from the back side to make sure I have full rail voltage to those op amps. Pin 1 should be no. This one should be positive rail, and it is. This should be negative rail, and it is. Pin 1 should be the output. Nothing. This one should also be output. Nothing. So, okay. Alright, so pin 1 on this one should be output. Nothing. Pin 1. Nothing. So there's nothing coming through these op amps. Alright. As far as I can tell, I have a signal of 0.1 volts. So turn it up a little. I don't want to blow my speaker though. I'm trying to avoid that. There should be something here. Oh, I do have it now. .55. I got something in there now. Now I turn the gain up. Should have something here too. I do. So I have gain now. Alright, so let's check this one. Got gain. I can turn it up. Turn it down, turn it up. Yeah, I got gain to the preamp stage. So that doesn't make sense. I wonder, is it broke here? That's an interesting one. This is an interesting failure. Yeah, I've got a lot of gain coming to the power stage. That's all in AC volts mode. So if I turn this down, that should fall, and it does. So I have gain. What I'm doing, I'm actually checking. You can't see it, but I'm checking the drive transistor. Let me move my hand out of the way. I'm checking this resistor here, which is feeding into the power transistor, the base. So I have drive coming from. Let's see. I think of, let's check here. Nothing. Yeah, I don't think that's the right one. Yeah, 4.8 volts. So I'm getting it. So where does? So So if I go from here, 5.3 volts. Oh, you know what? The ground is broken. Interesting. Interesting. So we have, this must be the output side, because on, I don't know if you can see the camera, but there's the Zobel network. It's a resistor capacitor. It keeps the high frequency oscillations suppressed. And that's usually on the drive side. This is the ground side. So this is the output side right here. All right, so let me turn the power off. I want to do some dry checks, because I bet we have a break. All right, so we're going to go from here to here. This is the ground side. And we're going to go back to the RCA. No connection. So there's a break. Let's see. Is it there? Might be there. Let's check it here. Okay, no, it's not that. Let's go from here to here. We do have a connection there. From there to here. Nope. Let's see, that connection from here to here should be the power supply. The center tap of the power supply should be there. I'm gonna get through the coating. Maybe not. Common. Yeah, this is definitely the common. All right, let's try again. So from here to here. All right. .3 volts. Means if there's a break, because let me stop the signal. Goes away. Start the signal. So ladies and gentlemen, we have a break somewhere. I bet, hold on, let me turn the volume down. I bet if I were to hazard a guess, I can't see the bottom of the board, but if I were to hazard a guess, if I get a jumper wire, where do I have one? I know I got one somewhere. Just gotta figure out where. 1 second. There we go. My handy dandy vacuum tube discharge tool. I am going to use this as a jumper. There's resistance in the filament, but probably not enough to matter. So here's what we're going to do. I'll turn this up a tiny bit. And I'm going to go between here. This is really stupid. This is how you blow shit up. So don't try this at home, folks. And I want to make a jumper connection to the RCA jack over here. Does it work? Nope. That's not right. It's not that one. Must be this one. What do you know? Huh. We have a broken ground, folks. So we have a broken ground on the amplifier. So that means what we're going to have to do is we're going to take this board out. I love it when they're simple though. And you saw the troubleshooting steps it really took to get there. So, alright, so we have a broken ground. Let me turn the power off, let all that settle down. Now let's get all this off here. Make sure we got all that settled out of the way. Move all this out of the way. Because what we have to do is we got to take the thing apart. So we're going to stop that. I'm going to turn my phone off. And then we got to pull this board. Which is going to be fun. Because getting this board exactly lined up, it's going to be nothing short of amazing. So, oh, there it is. So we have a screw here in the middle that's going to come out. Alright, that's out now. Our method of removing these spring clips is a long lever tool. Stick it in this hole like that. Grab your thumb and stop it from snapping off, and then we bend it back and it just pop. It's out. So we got to do this for each and every one of these so we can get this board out. Ah, yeah, that's hard as a rock. Ah, man, that's hard. Took some force to get that out. Of course, I get goo all over the end of my tool. Heatsink goo. Alright, that's out. Alright, before I screw that up, I want to move that to the other side so we don't lose which side goes to what. Of course, I can always rewatch this footage, but I'm trying to do something a little unique with this video and try to do like a non-stop repair. And I finally found an amplifier that's a candidate for that. Alright, and this is it. So, next thing we gotta do is we gotta pull out. Hold on, it's not gonna work. Oh, there we go. Let's crack these guys loose. Pull those off. Pull that off. We're going to crack all these guys loose, and of course it's full of thermal compound. Ooh, this one's about to break. You can kind of feel that. What happens is if these are bolted to a subwoofer, they get a lot of vibration, and the vibration will work the connections loose to where they're going to break. So you just got to watch out for that with these. That's another common troubleshooting technique for car audio gear is check the transistors. And if they're breaking, the pins are feeling loose or breaking free from the board, because then you got to fix it. And if intermittent contacts like that will cause the transistors to blow up sometimes. That's the thermal cutout. That's the shutdown, the protection if it overheats. Mind you, I never worked on this amp before. Never worked on one of these amps before. But once you know one of them, you know them all, really. They all work basically the same way. So, once you know one, you kind of know them all. They all have the same basic design. So, let's carefully slide this out and see if we can spot the break. So, we're going to take this heatsink assembly and move it out of the way. Now, the big reveal. Let's see if we can figure out where the break is. Ah, there it is. Found it. See if you can spot it. Right there. Therein lies your problem. So, and that's the bus bar that goes all the way across. Right here. So that bus bar has been completely melted from the connection point. That's not the first time I've seen that, but that's crazy. So guess what we're going to do? We're going to fix it. So let's warm up the soldering iron. As soon as the soldering iron warms up, I'll be right back. Alright, now that the soldering iron is warm up, actually, you know, I'm wondering if I should warm up the Rca, this one, because I'm probably going to want to pull off that solder there right quick. Sorry, I'm working around the tripod because it's literally right here in my way. And I have no place else to put a tripod, so can't really put it behind me because the kitchen counter is next to me because I'm working on my kitchen table. I'm the only one that lives here, so there's, I mean, it's not like I'm sharing it with anyone else and I have to keep it clean or whatever, but the trash can, the kitchen counter is behind me, so I can't really, there's not a good place to put it, really. So, for now, this is how we're going to do this. But that is screwed up, and that's what we're going to fix. What caused it? Who knows? Lead-free solder could be a cause. You know, and I can see up there, there's the center tap I was talking about of the power transformer. It's connected right here to the common. Oh yeah, the solder joints are bad in this thing. There's a crappy lead-free solder. That'll do it. Alright. See if I can actually work this. I may not be able to, because this bus bar is probably, yeah, this bus bar is screwed. So this is going to be fun on a bun. See, the other end of the bus bar goes here. Alright. So that, turn that off now and get it out of the way without burning everything on under the sun over here. Okay, now bus bar. Let's take a look. Oh, that's hot. Oh yeah. How nasty that is. It's pretty, hold on. Yeah, it's not terrible, but so they did silicone so they wouldn't fly apart, I guess. I guess that's what they're thinking was on this. I don't know. But let's fix this. And here's how we're going to do that. Sanding block. It's certainly better than what we had before. Just for good measure, let's do the other side. Good enough. Alrighty then. hate this crap. It gets everywhere. Alright, so this is going to fall out if I tip this board over. So what we're going to do is carefully hold this somehow. Well, I think what I want to do is I'm just going to add solder to this first. Just to kind of hold it. There we go. That'll work. Adding lots of solder. Lots big glob-a-dob-dobs of solder. Why? I don't know. Because it makes me feel better. Hopefully that helps the connection problem. Add fresh solder here. Put it in there. Alright. So we're going to add some solder here where it's kind of crappy. Because this bridges the common from side to side. You don't see anything that's sticking out at me that is an immediate I gotta fix right now. Maybe this one. Or this one. It's all that lead-free soldered garbage. Maybe this one. This one. Yeah, the more I look at these, the worse they get. And the last thing I want to do is spend all day on a cheap amp resoldering it, because these things are not expensive. These are like a Walmart special. Alright. That's it. So that should fix my problem. Alright, so now that's all there is to it. While we have it apart, let's take a look and see what power transistors we have here. No clue. It's made by Korean semiconductor manufacturer, KEC. Yeah, not surprised. It's made by KEC, which is the same company that makes all the KSC and KSA branded parts. Okay. Let's get this guy slid in and trying to get this thing lined up exactly the same place it was before. Is going to be absolutely fun on a bun. I'm going to do my best to keep it aligned, because if this shifts any way at all, it's going to make it impossible to get the rear bezels on. So I'm going to just see, it's going to alright, that's in there. Let's take a look and make sure we're approximately where we were before, and we are. And a good thing that helps is look where the heatsink compound used to be versus the, the transistors where they are. So that, putting the transistors back on is a lot more fun than it was getting them off. So now the next thing I gotta go do is I gotta go find my tools for putting that back on. So I'll be right back. Alright, so I keep this socket extension insanity as a beat the shit out of the clip in type thing. I'm sure there's a special tool, a clamp, that will push it in there, but I don't have it. It's really easy to get them out, not as easy to get them in. So what we have to do is work on getting this thing in. So I gotta figure out which ones went where. So that one goes here. Okay, they're all the same size. No, they're not. This one's longer than the other two. So the reason why that is, actually no, they're the same length. I'm mistaken. Same length. So, alright, let's get this in. So what we got to do is we got to center it the best we possibly can and get it started into the groove. And then what I do, every person's different, but what I do is I get my little tool here and I line it to where the force is going to be just where I want, and I grab a hammer tool and I just snap. You can hear it just jump in its little hole. Popped in. Now that one's done. Let's do the next one. This one will be easy because it's only a single little dingy thing. It goes into, it holds this trip sensor, get it lined up, and I could just, yeah, boom, simple. Doesn't take much. These take a lot more force. And not all are easy to get out and back in compared to other ones. So that's another thing to keep in mind. So again, we gotta line it up, make sure I don't fall out of the groove, and then beat it. That one's hard to get in. Snap. You can just kind of hear it ping the metal. That's how you know when to stop. You got to make sure you're hitting it as central as possible because you don't want to bend it, and I want to make sure it's right, and it is. So that one's done. Let's do this one. Ping. That one's done. Flip this around. Looks like it's got thinner leads. Alright, so this one, however, has a different length one. So with that, this is for the double transistors here, which those aren't transistors. They're actually 78 and 79 15 voltage regulators, which again is for the preamp stage. Actually, no, those are the rectifiers. My bad. Because I forgot this one uses Zener voltage regulation. Anyways, you get the idea. I'm going to pause this. It's going to make the video unnecessarily long. Ping. Alright. That's done. So I'll put that back on my case here. Alright, so now it's time to get the screws tightened in for the, oh no, I'm already over here. So let's get this okay, flip it up and around. We're going to do our standard 3-wire arrangement. This is power, pretty sure. Yep. This is remote. This is ground. All right. Let's grab our cables, plug them in. This is a mono amp, so it's not like the stereo signal means anything or not. So let's wake my phone up, turn the power on. There we are. Fixed. Alright, well, while we have the phone up and going here, let's look at some no copyright music. Yeah, I don't know. Most popular songs by no copyright sounds. There we go. Just some random one. Remember this song? Whoa. This takes a long time to get going. Crossover. Curiosity, the speaker's over there sitting on my chair over here on a bench seat. It's part of this kitchen table. I kind of use it as a shelf. Working really well. Bass boost works. That's going to conclude it, really. I'm just going to let this thing run a little bit more and see how it acts, but anyways, pause that. That pretty much wraps this one up. I'm just going to put it together now. We went through the whole troubleshooting procedure and all of that, but just that bad connection, fixed it, and then time to put it together, and I can write this one off the list. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this and you learned something from this. Leave a comment if you have one. Please like, subscribe, and join the Discord link below if you want to. But thank you for watching, and until next time.